Мислам дека имате и некои конкуренти кои што сакаат да ви се доближат до оваа идеја. Например, читав фабијанското општество во Британија им сугерира на лабористите нешто слично како вашава филозофија, само малку видоизменета, во смисла на воведување на нова економија, која што ќе биде поблиска до граѓаните, поблиска до интересите на граѓаните. Тоа е нешто слично како вашава филозофија, слично. Потоа создавање на некои приближување на природните ресурси до граѓаните, повторно нешто слично. Тука сакам да ве прашам како ќе се разграничите или како ќе се одделите од идеите на фабијанците, на Бернард Шо, на комунистичката партија, на комунизмот и покрај тоа што комунизмот, како што самиот кажавте, е идеологија која што главно бара диктатура во една политичка смисла. Како вие ќе ја разграничите вашата филозофија од фабијанската филозофија, од комунистичката идеологија? Како ќе им го приближите вашето филозофско духовно битие до граѓаните, а при тоа да си го задржите вашиот уникум?
Well, first of all, the Ubuntu philosophy is an ancient African philosophy. It's not something new. This goes back thousands of years. And every country, every continent, all the ancient cultures of the world and the native people of the world have similar philosophies. The Native Americans, the Native Canadians, the Indian, the Aboriginal people of Australia, all have very similar philosophies. They have different names and different words for it, but it all comes down to the same ancient philosophy of unity within community. The people work together for the greatest benefit of everybody in the community. So I need to stress that the Ubuntu philosophy is really based on the simple philosophy of cooperation as opposed to competition. And I need to highlight this because competition, or this thing called competition that all of us have been exposed to all our lives and told that competition is very, very important for us because without competition we won't have progress and we won't get to the top and you'll never be the best, is the worst thing that's ever happened to humanity. Competition is the evil in our lives and in our society because it achieves nothing. It achieves separation. Competition destroys families. It destroys unity. It suppresses our talents. It forces people to go into slavery. Competition is the evil in our lives and on this planet. Cooperation achieves far more than competition. Competition is exploited by corporations to suppress technology for the benefit of the corporation and at the detriment of the people, and it feeds into the capitalist system. If you introduce the contributionist system, contribution, the word is in, the explanation is in the name. You contribute your talents and skills towards your community for everybody's benefit. Contributionism, that's why I called it that. And so it's not about the money, it's about what people can contribute towards the community. Now, there are obviously certain things that need to happen for us to move from this terrible situation that we're in where people hoard stuff. Why do people hoard stuff? Because it's a sense of protection against losing money. And so you have all this stuff because it's got value, you know, and you can sell it if you need to. And people have houses and properties. It's not about that they can live in all of them at the same time. They don't often even go to their holiday home for years, but they still have all these things, not because it benefits them anyway, it's just value, it's money. So the moment you get rid of that, people don't need to hoard. If everything is available all the time, you don't need to feel that, get that feeling of acquiring things and buying things. So cooperation is a very important thing. And over lunch earlier today, I mentioned to you how simple this system can be implemented. And it's a simple philosophy of if everybody in the community works for 3 hours a week in one of the community projects, 3 hours a week, that's all it takes. We'll have so much stuff in that community, so much food, so much bread, so much milk, so many bridges, so much electricity, so many arts and crafts. No company or government can create so much wealth because the community has decided to do it together. If you imagine a community of 1,000 people And every week, those 1,000 people each have to do 3 hours a week in one of the community projects. That's 3,000 hours a week that you've got a labor force. No company can afford to pay 1,000 people to do that every week. And here the people decide to do it for themselves, to grow food, to do everything that they can imagine.
Много е интересно, сакав да го прашам само гостинот, во вашата држава 20 години поред на власт е Африканскиот национален конгрес. 20 години поред Демократскиот сојуз е опозиција. Грешам или?
The DA,
the Democratic Alliance.
Yeah, the Democratic Alliance. Yeah, they were called, first they were called the PFP, so they've gone through several changes of names.
20 години, во 5 последователни парламентарни изборни циклуси, Африканскиот национален конгрес, со трипартитна коалиција, со синдикати, комунистичка партија и конгресот, ја имаат власта во Јужна Африка. Дали некој ја оспорува оваа 20 годишна власт на нелегален, на незаконски начин?
Yes, the Ubuntu party is.
Yeah? На незаконски начин.
And we, I don't understand what you mean.
Значи, дали во текот на овие 20 години владење на Африканскиот национален конгрес, било која партија од опозиција сака да го попречи, да го оспори легитимитетот на владеачката структура на нелегален начин, со нелегални методи, со нелегален политички притисок?
Oh, right, okay. Well, yeah, not really, because you know the elections are so corrupt. But to prove that they're corrupt is such a huge legal issue. I know from our perspective, when the Ubuntu party in the elections of 2014, we went to the elections with about 1 million followers. We expected to get at least 4 seats in parliament. I was 100% convinced we were going to get at least 1 seat. We needed about 50,000 votes for 1 seat. Yeah. So I assumed if we get 200,000 votes, we'll get 4 seats in parliament. Well, we didn't even get 10,000 votes. We got 8,300 or 200 and something votes.
Impossible.
It's impossible. So I know from various sources that came back to me that our votes were discarded, that they were destroyed. And the one example was that I was notified that from the votes from abroad, people that voted in other countries, the Ubuntu party got the largest number of votes, more than the ANC. And there were 18,000 votes cast by people outside of South Africa. 18,000 votes. So we expected about 5,000 to 6,000 votes of those 18,000. Do you know how many votes we have finally given from foreign votes?
How many?
28. 28 votes. So when that came through, I went, okay, well, this is obviously completely corrupt. They're fiddling the numbers as they go. And that became evident to me. But that's not about winning the national elections. It's what's going to happen next year in 2016. You build it up from the ground. All revolutions happen from the ground up by the people. And they can happen very, very quickly. And I can tell you right now that as I'm sitting here, the support for the Ubuntu movement, the Ubuntu philosophy, and the Ubuntu party as a political wedge is growing so quickly in South Africa. It's taking me by surprise. Every day I get phone calls and emails from people all over South Africa saying, I want to start an Ubuntu party office in my town. What must I do? Can I represent Ubuntu here? And so we'll see what happens next year. I'm confident that we will win at least 1 municipality. Yes. And you know what? That's all it will take. Because contributionism devours and destroys capitalism, wherever it may be. Yeah. Because you cannot get any capitalistic model to operate within a contributionist system. It just cannot function. So the moment you have one municipality that actually uses the money and channels it into the right areas, into the development of the community, into the development of the infrastructure, the sports facilities, the manufacturing, and everything that it's supposed to be doing, that community will blossom and will set up the infrastructure as I outline in my book, using the community projects, and let everybody contribute towards the community projects, creating huge amounts of wealth for that community, so that that community can live virtually for free while exporting all the abundance. And the big thing here is that all the other political parties, whether it's in South Africa, in the UK, in America, Australia, all of the political parties, well, the ones that are all sort of, you know, the well-known ones, they're all still talking about how they're going to solve the financial system, how they're going to solve the economic problems with the money. They're going to borrow more money. They're going to use this, and they're still talking that they're going to solve the problem using the same tools that created the problem. So it's very important to realize that you cannot solve the financial problems using the same tools that created the problem. And those tools is the money. The current money system, the current banking system, and the creation of the supply of money. So we have to find something else, a whole new way of solving that. And as Albert Einstein also said, that you cannot solve the problem using the same kind of thinking that first created the problem. So you got to think completely out of the box. And the moment you get out of the box, you realize, oh goodness, the money is in the box. Let's leave it in the box.
Мене ме интересира како врз основа на вашата платформа тоа би го направиле во земја во која што криминалот е на многу високо ниво, во земја во која што расната нетрпеливост е страшно висока, живеат во изолирани гета и квартови, земја во која што туристи се носат да гледат луѓе наместо во зоолошка, гледат зулу племиња како туристичка атракција. Значи, зулу племињата глумат животни во тој случај. Значи, една висока раса гледа луѓе кои што се ниска. На кој начин би постигнале сплотеност меѓу народот, за да достигнете тоа економско ниво во кое што сите луѓе би биле на еднакво рамниште?
Yeah, and this is actually very important, and I think it's for the reasons you just mentioned is probably why it's happening in South Africa. Because of exactly that very high difference between the very wealthy and the very poor. And as far as I know, South Africa right now has got the highest differential between the rich and the poor in the world, which is incredible. So it's for that reason that I believe that the people are desperate. They want change. And they're desperate whether they're wealthy or whether they're poor.
Белите или црните луѓе?
All the people. It doesn't matter. The white people in South Africa are as stressed as the black people are stressed. Everyone is under pressure. Everyone feels the financial and the economic stress. It doesn't matter. If you're very rich, you've got a big company, you feel the stress because you've got to make enough money to pay all your people in your company, and that's not easy. If you're poor and you live in the ghetto, you're worried about how you're going to buy electricity and buy bread and milk and feed your children and keep warm during the winter. So everybody's got their own stress and anxiety to survive. So what we propose, very simply, is first of all, we're going to give everybody free electricity, as long as they participate in the community projects. So immediately you've provided a huge platform and a solution for some of the most basic needs of the people, to keep warm in winter and cool in summer, and be able to cook and provide for their families.